So they let me see, okay, on this. Yeah, so all the students have gotten under Ripen, they've started the project, so they've unlocked the communication stuff in the platform. And I think the main goal for today is they have that sort of 14-week syllabus layout of deliverables.
Right.
Is really so in our onboarding just a little bit ago with Ripen, our understanding is that we have to create the milestones, is figuring out what's that first milestone you all want done. And then we can create that, and then they have a direction over the next week of knowing exactly what to be working on first and what you're hoping to get out for that first week of work.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. No worries. So what we're looking to do is, again, at the end of your term, have a system that creates 90 pieces of content from a single long form video, right? That is the end goal. And to do this both manually and via automation. And so one of the first things that we want to work on in terms of, we think about this like starting from the top, right, is the work order. And so
yeah, as much, and I'll be hopping back and forth between two rooms, but as much detail as you can give them about the process and flow.
Yeah. I took a bunch of notes and kind of broke everything down so that it would give you a clearer understanding. So what I will do right quick is share my screen and we can kind of go over that. That's what I was trying to pull up. As soon as
feel free to talk with them if you want to know the names. I guess you know the names probably before, but
no, that is actually a fantastic idea. Let's see. Okay, so I guess first off, I'm Morgan the Mogul. I am freelance automations designer and a whole list of other things. But essentially, people hire me to solve problems, right, in their businesses. And so one thing I will say is that when someone hires you to solve a problem, they don't care how that looks like, whatever that is, as long as it's solved. And so I have to do a lot of thinking, a lot of research and understanding and figuring those things out. And so I understand you are students. However, I will not hold your hand. There is no step-by-step guide. You are going to have to learn these systems, figure it all out, because that is what the task is. That is what the job is. And so if it's something that you can find either via YouTube or AI, do that, right? Because in your everyday life, there are tasks and problems that people don't necessarily have the answers for that you can go find. And I guarantee you looking and going to find the information is going to be a million times more valuable than it is if somebody just tells you exactly how they do it. So again, that's kind of my personal philosophy, and I've built a business around that. So, call it YouTube University. But yeah, so if you want to tell me your names, what year you are, what you do, things like that, why you're interested in the project.
Yeah, just go down.
You come a little closer to the camera.
Oh, your meeting's over?
What was that? We could also try just
You know how that works.
Yeah. Should we just move our chairs? Like, I was just gonna come back right now. Or yeah, we just
Sure.
Okay. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I had it tilted up. Yeah.
I'll just okay.
Yeah.
So my name is Alex Katani. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, Alex.
I'm a computer science and math double major, and I'm a senior here at Champlain College.
Hi,
Hi,
All right, nice to meet you, Alex.
I'm Tyler Chase. I'm also a senior and I'm a comp sci major at Champlain.
Alex and Tyler. Those are my two nephews. I will remember your names.
All
Okay.
right.
Hi, I'm William, also a senior in computer science at Champlain.
Okay, William.
I'm Eddie. I'm also computer science and a senior.
Okay, Eddie.
Okay.
So what made y'all choose this project? Or you just assigned to
Um,
it?
I was a filmmaking major before computer science, and I've done like a lot of editing and that kind of thing. So I thought it was interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I thought, yeah, I want to look at like some of these APIs and how they work, and I think that'd be cool to work on.
Okay. William, why'd you choose this project?
To be honest, I didn't have any preference for the project choices. So
I appreciate your honesty.
Tyler?
For me, I just haven't had much experience with like automation and AI. I think that's something really valuable these days. So I thought it'd be cool to get some experience to that before going out into the world, you know.
Okay. And Alex, you all this math. Why were you attracted to this project?
Well, so for me, I kind of dipped my toe into like video editing, and I just thought the product would be kind of a useful tool in general. And then I also really liked the mission of your group, and I thought that was interesting, and I wanted to work with you guys.
Okay. Well, just a little bit about me. I'm in between meetings, so I might go on mute and go back into that meeting. But I just wanted to let you guys know I'm Tamisha Thomas. I work with kids all the time, work with students all the time. My joy is seeing you guys grow, seeing you guys get the aha, seeing you guys get the what you need in your portfolio, and getting you acclimated to what it is working in this world. How do you find your way? How are you guided? How do you stand out from any other applicant? And it's like what Morgan said, you go find a solution. And we call it YouTube University because everything's out there. And so that is how anybody who's ever created anything made a video about it and put it on YouTube. And so a lot of things that we're going to show you is going to be like, okay, but did we show you everything? How can you figure it out? And that's called job security. Say it with me. Job security. Everybody wants job security, right? They keep the people who can figure out the questions to the problem independently. Okay. Okay, so Morgan's going to show you what we currently have in the system, how we want to expand it. She's going to share her screen. Like I said, I'm going to be checking in and out. It's been nice to meet everybody. And thank you guys for working on our project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, as you can see, she's a lot more personable than I am, but that's okay. We're gonna do the best I can.
I've been doing this a long
so-
time, Morgan. That's all.
I am not jealous. No. All right, let me share my screen right quick. Let me send a request too. Awesome. I think that's screen one.
go ahead and change our grades for the quiz.
Okay. I only have about 100 tabs. So are you guys seeing the week 1 through 2 assignment brief?
Yes.
Okay, good. That means I'm sharing the right screen. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, our end goal is the content automation system. You guys will have access to this. I'll put this in ClickUp and things like that. So every single piece of clip or piece of media that we're going to generate starts off with a work order. And so your objective, for the next 2 weeks, so this is week 1 and week 2, is to understand the content ladder, right? The intake, the process, the output. But it's also to design the intake form, decide whether the submission flow should be in Airtable, ClickUp, and or both, right? Basic automations of go high level. We're going to push data into one of these 2 hubs, and you're going to document your reasoning and process. All right. So you need to watch a few videos to understand what ClickUp is, how to use ClickUp, what Airtable is, how to use Airtable in order to figure out where this information should go. You can make free accounts for both Airtable and ClickUp. In terms of Go High Level, we will grant you access to Go High Level so that you can work through some of the automations. You're also going to have to watch videos on automation, specifically in Go High Level. Go High Level is a massive software tool, and you don't really need to understand how all of it works, because you could probably spend the next 6 months learning how to use Go High Level alone. And so we don't have time for all of that. And so I want to make sure that you're focusing specifically on how to use the automations tab within Go High Level. And so I'm going to come back to the other stuff in just a second, but I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit about like what Go High Level looks like. And so when you get access to login, I'm not sure you'll see all of this just because I have an agency view. But you have all these tabs off to the side. Your focus is really just going to be this automation tab, right? It'll also be forms. So what sites, and then forms, and then you have a form builder. And as you watch videos about Go High Level for, how to create a work form order. And honestly, I suggest if you go to YouTube, you just type in Go High Level work form order, see what already exists, what people are using, because if you don't have to reinvent the wheel, don't. All right. If you find something that someone else is using that already looks beneficial to what you're trying to do, use it. All right. Take pieces from everybody that you find would be useful in creating this, right? So that is a secret, right? They say, I forgot what's the saying. It's like, copy one artist or something, it's plagiarism, but copy 1,000 artists and it's, I don't know, like a unique style or something like that. But the idea is that you want to look at like what a whole lot of people are doing. And so again, I just went back to the automations tab, and this is an example automation that I'm building out. But so, and I just kind of show you kind of what it looks like on the inside, for example. So in this particular automation, when someone purchases my ebook, right, it waits. You see that I have a trigger, and it has a long list of triggers. Again, so, but they have things built in like Airtable. And so you'll be able to click on these things and be able to add them in through, like I said, triggers and things like that. So this is partly why we're using Go High Level, just because it has these types of automation and components already built in. So that makes it easier for us to transfer data to one of these hubs. And so this is partly why we're going to try and figure out, does it make more sense for us to transfer the workflow to Airtable, right? Or ClickUp, or both? Because at the end, our goal is for the client to fill out a form. Hey, I want 15 video clips, focusing on education or something like that. Maybe they mention the word education a few times, right? And for them to hit go. Now, if that goes to, Airtable, right? It's a really good database, and we can put videos actually inside of Airtable. But if it goes to ClickUp, it's a really good management system and saying, hey, this can be assigned to this. Here are additional notes and documentations that go with this. And so that will definitely be your task. But I'm kind of getting off track a little bit. But yeah, so this is kind of like a really basic automation with inside of Go High Level. So like I said, when someone purchases an ebook, it waits 2 minutes. And then I asked, did they purchase the order bump? Did they not? And an order bump is like an upsell where you can purchase additional things. Speaking of which, part of your assignment will also be like a glossary, right? So that we can be like, hey, here's client, here's all the terminology so that we can speak the same language. Just how I did when I said order bump. How many of you knew what an order bump was?
Remember I said vocabulary, we had this discussion where like, there's gonna be this employer speak, this vocabulary that you gotta learn to kind of to know what they want and what those things mean, so. Yeah.
Exactly. And so just by me explaining to you that simply what an order bump was, you kind of have a better idea. So let me go back right quick, just so that you can see me telling you what an order bump was great, right? Like it gave you an understanding. But if I can show you what an order bump is, then now not only do you have an understanding, but you also have a visual knowledge of what that looks like. So this is an order bump. And so what happens is when someone purchases or, is interested in this particular PDF, they click a button and it adds that amount to their total. So now you understand what an order bump is, but now you also see what an order bump is. And so part of your documentation is sure the language of it, but having a visual representation of it would also go hand in hand. Let's see.
I want to ask the team, did you guys get the ClickUp that was sent out to you this past weekend? Did y'all see that? Did y'all get the assignment?
Yeah.
Or
Okay,
assignment?
and so
To read through the
did you guys read through the assignment?
Is it the
Explore project kind of assignment? The first
Yeah, I think it
resources
should
and
be
stuff
under
like that?
Explore Project. I think wasn't there another tab?
There's explore project and data flow.
Okay, so
Okay.
maybe I put it under Explore Project, but it's the 14-week breakdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so Alex, can you tell me your understanding? What are we doing for this project?
So I think we're trying to iterate through the workflow that we need for connecting the APIs, so that we can fully automate this content creation.
And can anybody tell me what softwares will be using?
There was Munch AI was one of them, I remember. You have it on your computer, don't you?
Yeah. I think I don't know if she's meeting with someone else.
Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead. She's
Okay.
doing 2 meetings at the same
Got it,
time,
yeah.
guys. That's all.
I know there's I saw make.com was mentioned. Obviously go high level and ClickUp. And then some things I wasn't so familiar with, Airtable and N8N
Yes.
and no code, that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
something I want to look into, set up guides for.
So I will say that I will probably use N8N, not probably, I will definitely use N8N as a replacement for make.com.
Okay.
This project is very fluid, right? And so tools that we thought we were going to initially use, sometimes you find better versions of it. As computer science people, make.com was having a lot of trouble with JavaScript. And it's not native. And so it required me to have third-party tools. Whereas switching over to N8N, where JavaScript and I think eventually Python will be native inside of that tool, allowed me to actually code things a little bit faster. And so that's one of the reasons that I am using N8N as a replacement for Make. There's like 10 reasons, but essentially That was probably one of the bigger ones. So we are going to be using N8N as a replacement for Make. Munch, I haven't decided necessarily on the clip part of the tool, because Munch was originally used for making clips. However, they have a very restricted API access, and they will not allow us access, I guess like development reasons, whatever it is, it's not. So what we are initially going to do is no longer an available option. And so we're looking at other things that we might want to use as API, as clips. Even Capwing. Have you ever heard of Capwing?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. That is something we are looking at in terms of being able to automatically make clips. So again, that's kind of down the road a little bit in the future. So like I said, our focus right now is Go High Level, Airtable, and ClickUp. All right. And so part of this, again, and you'll have access to this documentation, is asking the questions that we don't know to ask yet, right? So that is that, and I know that sounds a little crazy, but as you start working through things, you'll have questions that don't have answers yet, right? And so have you guys, as computer science majors, built anything, JavaScript, HTML?
A little bit, yeah.
Little bit. So you know that as you're walking through the process, things pop up unexpected, and you have to solve for those things in order to continue the process. And so these questions didn't exist until you started solving for the problem. And so this process is very much the same way.
So it
So
looked like, so Morgan, just to understand, you scroll up there just a little bit, this first week or two, what they'll probably do in Ripen is we'll need to turn those objectives into a milestone that they can complete, right?
so I have down here
I got you, okay.
and like I said, so the draft intake form, right?
That'd be the
And
first
so
milestone, got it. Yeah.
Mhm. And so what I'm thinking is breaking this up into like the 2 weeks. So the first week is them learning the software, kind of mapping out just a diagram or something, how they think they want things to flow, including a glossary of terms and things like that. And so after that, the next thing is to actually start working through it, start building it. Because I have a success criteria at the end of the 2 weeks. I want to see a working prototype, right? The
That's
customer
just a
fills
form,
out
right?
the form.
It's just a form, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So the customer is going to fill out a form, and we want to see that data move into ClickUp, Airtable, and or both, right? This has to be a usable process. So for example, if someone like puts in their YouTube video and you just send that to ClickUp or Airtable, that's not a usable process for us, right? So when that happens, maybe we need to know the customer's name. Maybe we want to know how many clips they want. Maybe we need further instructions. You see what I'm saying? And so part of this process is to also think about, great, if this client has a long form video that needs to be in clips, what do we need to extract? Like, what information do we need in order to complete this task, right? Obviously, breaking it down in a clip, sure, but that's the automation part. But in the sense of collecting the information about, maybe we need like I said, how many clips that they want to see it. Do they want subtitles or do they want B-roll added in? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we want to think about this as a complete, okay, clips, right? And but you all know what YouTube or TikTok clips look like. And so we want to know what we're looking for and then work backwards to get to the right answer, if you will. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah. Do you have like an initial set of guidelines for the form? that you
No,
kind of
not at
want?
all.
Okay.
Mm-mm. So
Do you
part
have a
of
list anywhere of the things that you know you want for sure on the form yet? Or is this gonna be like, they set up, here's what we think the information is that you're all wanting to collect based on the description that they understand?
Mhm.
And then we iterate on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. But that, again, like I said, you know what YouTube clips look like, you know what TikTok clips look like. So if I gave you, right, a video, you know, what's some of the first things that you think? This is a long video. This is a 2-hour video. And you need to make a 15-second clip. What
So
are some of the things that you need?
Well, so one thing is, I'm guessing on the form somewhere would be some sort of checkbox setup, right, where they can choose if they want like clips for their Facebook sort of appropriate, Instagram appropriate, TikTok appropriate, like where the user could check what platforms they're wanting to output to at the end of the process, potentially, right? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like length of the
Length,
clip,
length of
the
clip, yeah.
focus of the clip.
Focus, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You guys already know the answers. You know, because
They've watched
you're
it, they're
in that
addicted
room.
to them already.
Right. And so that's what I'm telling you is that you know what the end result looks like. You just need to think of it in the sense of, okay, if I was posting this to Facebook, what do I need? If I was
If you
posting
are
it
listening to an hour-long lecture from Brian and you wanted the TikTok version, what would you need to know?
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's what this intake form is, right? And then you also know that we are producing, like I said, 90 pieces of content, right? So you start off with the form as, let's just say, video, but maybe there needs to be images, maybe there needs to be audio, maybe there needs to be, you know what I'm saying? So you think of this form, and at the same time, you also know that this form is going to have to evolve, right? So you start off with maybe just clips. Maybe the form only says clips right now. But then you're like, okay, well, what if they, wanted some images or quotes or something like that?
Like a
What if there was a
description.
box that said, quotes, or maybe it was a drop down, or maybe it was something else. Maybe it's a totally different form. All right. That's what I'm saying. This is the project. This is how you have to think about it. What's easy for the user. All of these things go into solving this problem. And like I said, we're at the very top of this.
I also saw the NCA toolkit, a video, a resource on that. Is that something you want us to consider as a tool?
Yes. However, I haven't decided. I set up my own NCA toolkit on Google Cloud. So that's what I've been using as part of my business or whatnot. I'm not sure if we're going to set this up separately. But it regardless, it will be a tool that we do use. I like it for a number of reasons. And I mean, honestly, it technically has the ability to clip videos and stuff like that. So that is kind of a back end process that I'm thinking about and kind of working through. But that doesn't really have anything to do with your your first 2 weeks.
Okay.
But I did kind of want you to see that just because that is something that either A, you might potentially want to set up for yourself, or, B, it is something that we will probably be working with just because, again, I feel like it does a lot. So I don't know if you guys have had an opportunity to watch any of the videos, some of
Yeah,
them.
I've watched some of them, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um,
And Tyler, which video did you watch?
I've actually watched all of them.
Okay, and so can you give teammates a rundown of what you found within high level?
The video, the NAN video was, I felt really useful, just getting a baseline understanding of automation and that whole process of setting up different automations and integrating different APIs and stuff like that. I found that really useful, and generally just like good overview of all the different tools we might use.
Okay, anyone else have an opportunity to check out any of the videos?
I did not check it out yet.
This one.
Okay, so that is your assignment this week. Your assignment is to get in there and understand the tools you're going to be using. And then you guys come back next week and report to us, what did you learn? How is it clicking for you? Because we're kind of talking to the wall if you don't get the initial, go through the program and understand each program that you're going to be using, and then we'll learn how all the stuff comes together.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a question for a little bit further down the line, maybe.
Mhm.
Because we're definitely going to want the client to be able to approve the videos they're posting. And I think the easiest case is they approve everything. But should there be some way that they can maybe select what they want to post? And if some things don't really align with what they want on the internet, they can get rid of that kind of.
correct. Later on down the line, there will be a need for an approval system. One where they can check, and when they approve it, it will automatically get like a timestamp and a platform that it should be posted to at what time. There are very specific days and times that content works best. And so after it gets approved, all of that stuff then now fits into, again, a schedule for posting.
Okay.
So that is correct.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Is this first 2-week outline here available to us somewhere?
It will be.
Okay.
Is it in ClickUp? You didn't, it's not a ClickUp already?
This is more of a detailed breakdown.
Okay.
Yeah, we have like the 14-week overview, but I don't think we
Right,
have
yeah,
specific
yeah.
for this. Yeah.
And so the 14-week overview is just kind of it gives you an idea of what we're doing, but you guys might appreciate this breakdown a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when we meet next, was it Friday? Do we meet on Fridays?
We usually just have
Oh,
classes on
that's the
Tuesdays.
Cambridge team.
Oh,
That's the Uganda team.
okay. When are team meetings for this team?
During class.
Right, but what days?
Monday,
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
Tuesdays. Okay, see, there we go.
There we go.
That's I was like, okay, this team is Tuesdays. All right. I appreciate that. I'm getting my teams mixed up.
It's all right.
Like, pretty sure we don't meet till Friday. This is a surprise. No, okay. All right, so next Tuesday, what we're looking to have is watch the videos. We want to see just like a draft, a wireframe, a mock-up of how you expect everything to go, how you would like everything to go. Spend some time learning the Go High Level, the Airtable, the ClickUp. And so next
Tasha,
Tuesday, I would like you to present to
Tasha,
me this documentation, the setup, the glossary,
Tasha.
not the actual building of it just yet, so if you have time and you want to, and you just, you can, because it'll
Hello.
be due at the end of 2 weeks.
Hello.
You can start that.
Tasha.
Hold on, Tamisha, you want to mute?
Tasha, you here? Hey, I can't, for some reason, you can't see me, can you?
Hold on, let me sit allow.
Hold on.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, I hate to not. I'm running 2 meetings at one time. We are doing a whole bunch of stuff, so forgive me because
Oh,
I'm
not
just
bad.
discombobulated today. I usually meet in Zoom, but I got we're running a class right now at Champlain College because we have different universities that's helping us build our system. So it's exciting. So they called us in the morning. They was like, "Can we get a meeting this morning?" So I was like, "Okay, Morgan, you use the Zoom. I'll take the Google and all this other good stuff." So and then this one, the camera is not coming on. So I hate you can't see me, but let's chat. What's going on? Tell me
Tamisha,
what's your vision.
can we mute you?
My manager is sadly not in here. Hold on just a second. You have to let her in.
Do I have to let her in? Okay, hold on.
I don't like that. It's bad.
I don't see her.
This is very interesting.
What
Yeah.
happened? She's just in a different meeting.
Tamisha's in a
And I'll
different
go ahead and
meeting.
begin.
And
Okay, hold on. Let me find. I do
Yeah,
have
I
other
do.
cameras here. Hold on. Let me just click up a camera so you
I
can't.
don't
see
really
that.
think that she can hear us,
Okay, well, let's keep going.
right? Okay, what I was saying is, if you want, like, so
Okay, hold on 1 second. I think I heard my name.
you did.
Did I hear your name?
Yes, because we can hear your entire meeting. Okay. Whew. All right. So what I was saying is that your very first week, if you just want to focus on just like these parts, right? So we're setting up the intake form. I'm thinking a wireframe, some sort of mock-up, just kind of get an idea of the flow of information. So, you know, what the box might look like, things like that. And this is also kind of part of the workflow. Again, boxes. The biggest thing I think is also going to be the glossary. So as you're working through things, you're going to find terms that you never heard of. We want to kind of document that. And like I said, if you can provide images to kind of show, that's also beneficial. Although this is something you'll probably work on over the 2 weeks. Again, same thing with the setup documentation. This is something over the 2 weeks, but the biggest thing we want to see is the wireframe, how we're expecting information of flow, the fields, and then the same thing in the Airtable and ClickUp, like what we're looking for. All right, any questions so far?
One question I had was like the format of the long form videos that are put into the form. Are those like YouTube links? Is it a certain video format?
The link itself shouldn't necessarily matter, just because as long as it's a video that can be pulled. However, it probably will be a YouTube link.
Okay.
Just because a lot of the clients will want to post their videos long form on YouTube as well. And so pulling it from YouTube will make it easier. So we can initially start it off as a YouTube link, but in the long run, you know, it should be able to probably pull from a Zoom link as well.
Yep. Cool.
All right, so do you guys have any more questions? Anything you're curious about?
I'm good right now. I can't think of any other questions.
And they can always reach out through the chat in Ripen if they have a question too.
Right. I am still new to Ripen as well. Tamisha's been using it for a little while, so I haven't quite figured out where everything is.
It's just they try to keep as much of the communication on there as possible. Like so in there on the team page, there's a chat where they can chat together as a team. There's a chat where they can chat with you, the employer, and then there's like where with the Google integration they can set up meetings and things like that as needed with the employer.
Okay. So I'll take a look into Ripen just to kind of get a better understanding of how it all works. You guys will get access to the Go High Level account, just so you can start kind of learning and messing around with that specifically. I also would recommend that you make your own Airtable and your own ClickUp accounts. Both of these are free. And what this will allow you to do is kind of explore a little bit on your own, figure out what pathways work best, because the workflow that you create is different than the workflow that you create. But, sometimes combining them, or even, having the conversation back and forth, wanting to test things out on your own, you can't necessarily do that if we just give you one Airtable, one ClickUp account. So I would encourage you to make your own, since you'll have the connection in Go High Level, to just kind of start working through what that looks like.
Yeah,
Sound good?
sounds good.
Okay. Again, any other comments, questions, concerns?
I think we're all set.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. All right,
Appreciate it.
have a good rest of the day.
See you next week.
Off we go.
Thank you.
Thanks. You can go.
How did that go?
It went well. They want, we'll put the documentation part in ClickUp. I told them that we were going to give them their own Go High Level access.
I did that. They got it.
Oh, they already got that?
Yeah, they already got that.
Okay. I told them to make Airtable and ClickUp accounts. So
Okay.
they can do their own experimentation and
Okay,
get
good.
an
Before they
idea of
get
the
into
system.
ours. Great. Okay. All right. Well, I'm in this meeting right now. I'm gonna call you back.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
Later.
Bye. Okay. So that's where we are right now. What I want to do is set up a meeting with you and John Chambers. John Chambers was the person that I actually trained 20 years ago in the streets of Huntsville. So he's got mad street connections for 25 years. He's been John Baum and Lamont Chambers, who's still at the radio station. Now, Mr. Bass, who was the station owner, the station has been in the market for over 60 years, just passed away about a month ago. So I don't know what Mr. Batt's succession plan was. I'm not really sure where this was going to happen to the radio stations. He had dementia, so they had a management company come in and has been over the station for the last 5 years. They really kind of drove it into the dirt before they, I guess so they could drive down the price. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But like I said, Lamont and John Baum, they do promotions in that market. Now I'll be in that market next year for the IEEE conference, which is an engineering conference, and I would like to see something happen during that time.
What time is it?
I'm sorry.
What date?
I don't know when the IEEE conference is. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see.
Cause I was telling Shayla that, I wanted to launch in Birmingham. It'd be the best thing for me ever.
You're saying Birmingham. This is Huntsville.
Huntsville, I'm so sorry. I actually have ties to Huntsville, and it's painful to say Huntsville.
Is it really? Is this gonna bring a healing?
It's gonna bring healing. It's gonna help me. I might can tell some jokes about it.
Okay. So it looks like March 13th to March 15th.
Perfect. And guess what I was saying about February or March before my birthday? See?
Okay, yeah. March 13th, March 15th, it is the IEEE Southeast Conference 2026, why you should attend, industry, academia, and government. It is, and so what I also do is I'm also, so the nonprofit actually does robotics. And so we're launching a robotic, a robotic statewide competition. So my son is now at A&T. He went through the robotics program. It was grant funded, and we were able to. We were. I was able to get him to college, and now he's sitting on a scholarship this year from the Department of Defense because he was a first student.
Mm.
And what first did was it actually stole the robot because they stole grant money so we could participate just so that they could get the grant money. They held on to the grant money, and just so happened, just because of God, I ended up getting the grant money. And then I ended up getting frustrated with the process of them still on the robot. And everybody said to me, you can make your own robotics team. Why do you need them? And I was like, no, that's too much. It's too much. But then Lord said, no, you're going to do this. And so this IEEE conference is us being able to make the connections in the industry to be able to bring robotics to African American communities, so we're not left behind. But I want this robotics thing to be different from what FIRST is, and I want it to be comedy. I want it to be edutainment. I want it to be, you know what I'm saying, this idea of coming into this arena where these kids are doing robots, but we got we got the flavor of the African American community in the building. You know what I'm saying? So I want the parents to be entertained. I want the crowd to be entertained, and I want to make robotics cool. I want to make robotics meet hip hop. I want to make robotics meet R&B. I want to make robotics meet the comedy show. And and so with this IEEE conference, I got to get my son on board with this. But I would like to see us do something in Huntsville that kind of launches it there, because it would launch 2 markets. It's like North Carolina coming to Huntsville, and we come in with this energy of, hey, we're going to bring edutainment in with education and entertainment.
Education and entertainment.
Right.
I'm good at stuff like you heard what you just said.
Uh-huh.
PR, that's a pitch.
Yeah.
Robotics through education and entertainment.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I like how you think. You did say you was a publicist.
Yeah. Like, so that so you could I just wrote down like planning comedy around education and entertainment, right?
Right.